Yeah.
Good.
Hi, how are you? Good. How are you? My gosh. Yeah. Betty is. Oh. Yes. You're all right. Yeah. Catch you later. Yeah.
The old man sitting there. I heard Bones Creek and all kinds of stuff on there.
Years, it's miles.
Yeah. But don't get any better.
Well, good. I call the Muhlenberg Township Board of Commissioners meeting for Monday, May 17th, 2021 to order. All please rise for a pledge and remain standing for a memorial moment.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a memorial moment for Jared Rothenberger, who passed away on May 5th, 2021. Jared was a member of the Muhlenberg Township Public Works Department. Thank you. The owl. The owl. The owl is back. For the owl, there was an executive session held by the board immediately before tonight's meeting to discuss personnel matters. We do have two public presentations on the agenda, so I see Mr. Pfeiffer in the back. I believe who's representing an Evelyn Memorial Bridge presentation, so the stage is yours.
Good evening. I'm Alan Piper. I'm with the Berks County Planning Commission, but I'm also serving as capacity as the county bridge program administrator. Under a temporary assignment for the last 2 years. We're here tonight to talk about the replacement of Edwin Memorial Bridge on Spring Valley Road. A bridge is currently a county bridge under agreement with the Board of Commissioners. Once this project is completed, the bridge will be turned over to the township. I'm going to turn it over to our engineers from CCJM to do the presentation. So thank you, and we'll be available for questions as needed.
Thank you.
Should I wear my mask?
There.
That's okay, all right. All right, thanks, guys. Yeah, thank you so much for having us. My name is Russell Woolslagel. I'm here with Yvonne Schock and Madeline Heckman. And we're here on behalf of Berks County to discuss the Upland Memorial Bridge project. This bridge is over Bernhardt Creek, and it's Spring Valley Road, right over there next to the Bernhardt Reservoir. The original bridge was actually built in 1959 and has some structural deficiencies that cause it to be posted for 8 tons, 15-ton vehicle combinations. And so the purpose of this project is to address the structural deficiencies and make sure there's continued safe and efficient travel allowed on Spring Valley Road. So you can see here the proposed roadway section and proposed bridge section. It's showing 12-foot lanes and 6-foot shoulders, which is slightly wider than the existing structure that's out there right now. And the reason for that is to address the high volumes of traffic that are within that area. Here you can see in plan view the proposed structure. In pink here is the portion of the new bridge that will be put in place, and you can see that here in this view as well. The yellow is the lane widths, and the orange up here is the shoulders. If you take a look here at the proposed bridge in this view, you'll notice that it's spanning over the existing abutments. The proposed bridge is planning to leave the existing abutments in place and cut them off at a certain elevation. There's a few reasons why it's proposed that way. One is to minimize the amount of excavation for the project. And the other is to just make sure that the stream bed characteristics are maintained. It's important in this area to minimize the amount of excavation because you may or may not know that the soils in this area have lead contamination in them. And so as a part of this project, there is a health and safety plan that will be part of construction to appropriately handle the contaminated soils that have high concentrations of lead. Other environmental aspects about this project, we've coordinated with DEP regarding environmental concerns. There are no wetlands. There are no adverse effects to threatened endangered species, and also no adverse effects to any cultural resources as part of this project. There will be some impacts to utilities that are along the roadway here. If you go to the bridge now, there is a gas main and a sewer main that you can actually see underneath of the existing structure. And there's also a water main that's beneath the existing foundations of the existing structure. All 3 of those utilities will be relocated to the south of the structure. And there's also an overhead electric line that will need to be relocated during construction to accommodate the crane placement and as they launch the beams and construct the bridge. Due to some of those utilities, there will be required utility easements to the south property. And due to the slight widening, there will be some required right-of-way takes on either side of the roadway. In general, the project is planned to take place during the construction season of 2022. It will require a detour just because of the lateral constraints of the project. There's no way to be able to do half-width construction or anything like that. And so it will require a detour, but especially because this is a bus route, we're planning that detour to occur only in the summer months of 2022. So the detour is a 2-mile detour that utilizes Route 12, and again, is planned to only be in place during the summer months. So that's an overview of the project, and we are happy to answer any questions that you may have about it or concerns.
Yeah, how long will construction last?
Construction is anticipated to take about a year to complete. It's right now planned for the construction year of 2022.
You said 15 tons, right?
For combination vehicles.
Okay, is that gonna be higher now?
It'll be restored to, yeah, it'll be restored to full capacity, so no
Which is?
restriction, which is 20 and more.
40 tons?
Yeah, sorry.
There we go, that's what I hear. And we still have industry there that's in the hall.
Yep,
That's the trailer.
that's a rationale, one of the rationale for the
Okay, so it's downgraded from 40 to 15, that's gonna go back to 40. Is that right?
Yes.
And we got everything squared away with the FTA. Muhlenberg Township Authority,
Oh, okay.
as
Yes.
far as the sewer water.
Yes,
Well, there was some issues there.
we actually prepared some plans for sewer relocation and have worked with the authority to review the 30% submission. So once we get into final design, we will be addressing their comments and be submitting to them. But yes, it's been taken care of.
And in terms of funding for that, if you remember, the county previously had an agreement with the township in terms of taking this bridge back. We had I think it was $250,000 that was going to be allocated to the township to be used elsewhere. Under the revised agreement, those dollars will then be applied to this project, and there'll be no cost to the township to take care of the utility relocation.
All right, and with this bridge replacement, is there going to be, or was there any discussion to work with what's going to be done with Bernard's Dam? The public's going to want to know.
We have no intention of doing anything with Muhlenberg Dam as part of our project.
Okay.
Due to the length of the project before you get started, so we can notify the local businesses and the residents, are you gonna do like a warning shot as a?
Oh, yeah, you'll definitely be notified well in advance of when the project is gonna go to construction.
I don't need people.
Well,
Yeah, so that's, yeah, I appreciate that, because that would be one thing, we want to give people enough time to navigate around the areas.
We actually provided this public notification to all of the residents and the businesses and the stakeholders in the area. So they were notified of this meeting.
Yeah, we'll forget by tomorrow. Yeah.
This presentation is available on the county's website.
Yes, the entire presentation is available. We sent the links to those people as well. It's on both the commissioner's public meeting webpage as well as the planning commission's.
So we can get something internal on our site, have a link for employees to take a look at this entire presentation. What's the life expectancy of the new bridge?
It's 100-year.
Yeah, typically they're designed for 100 years, but they'll probably outlast that.
I'll get here, but somebody else.
Any other questions? Thank you. We appreciate the county's partnership with this.
Get a question.
Was this a random inspection or a scheduled inspection of this bridge?
Well, it wasn't that, technically, there's, other than the fact that there's an 8-ton load posting, there are no, what you call deficiencies with the bridge, except for the weight posting. It was that was standard. There was no emergency. The only thing that we've ever had that was an emergency on the bridge was when the guide rail has been hit and broken, and we had to come back and replace that.
Did you notice any other bridges in the township that might need attention?
We don't have jurisdiction over other bridges. We're only addressing this because it's a county-owned bridge. We did in the past. It was a township thing. When we replaced the Water Street Bridge, that was a bridge.
In your research, your historical research, who was that like?
That I
How
don't
did you get his name?
Okay.
No, we'll look it up though.
You got a research flow there, huh? Yeah, we're
Pay $2 million on a bridge, put a little plaque there.
will it still remain the Everly Bridge?
If you want it to be, it's your bridge. It will be your
It won't
bridge.
be our bridge, so we can name it anything we want.
That's correct.
All right.
Yeah, just to be clear, this is a county-owned bridge, and the county has, I think graciously, because of its condition, offered to do the repairs at their expense, saving the Muhlenberg Township taxpayers the $2+ million for us to take ownership of it, which will last 100 years. So yeah, I think that's a good ROI on our investment. So, so that's the overall story. This isn't a Muhlenberg Township situation. It's their bridge. We just agreed. The county does the repairs. We take the bridge over. Is that right?
Yes.
Just so everyone's clear on that fact. Any other questions? We appreciate the presentation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And if anybody has any questions, please either call me directly or use the form that's available on our webpage. That goes for commissioners and any members of the public. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next, Michael, are we having any presentation with this or just?
Well, we get that hearing and taking public comment, there might be, let me just kick it off. Sure. This is the time set for a hearing on intra-county transfer of a liquor license. In this case, the applicant is Redner's Markets Inc. in a location to which the license will be transferred is the Redner's Quick Shop at 1137 Boulevard. The liquor license number R21406 and is currently owned by Wing Point Corp. Doing business as Whale's Nest Restaurant. I believe that Mr. Jason Hopp, General Counsel for Redner's, is with us, and perhaps give a very brief description. Oh, I think everybody understands these by now of what's going on here and what you intend to do with it.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jason Hopp. I'm Vice President and General Counsel, Redner's Markets. I've been before your board previously for a transfer for a restaurant liquor license to our 5th Street location up here. We talked about ROI. I'm proud to say that of our 22 cafes that we have in Pennsylvania, our 5th Street beer and wine cafe is in the top 3 in sales in a very quick period of time. So we've done tremendous business there and continue to do so. And we are continuing to upgrade our cafes. In this case, we're asking to put a cafe in our convenience store over on in the Tuckerton area of Muhlenberg Township. Redner Development, Redner Properties owns that building, leases it to Redner's Markets. We are currently, if you haven't been over there, putting in probably about a $500,000 renovation to the building, expanding it some, completely renovating the interior of it, consistent with our quick shop that's on Route 12 and 73. So it'll be a grade A improvement. Does great business there. We're looking to improve the business even further. The hours of the cafe will be consistent with the hours of all of our cafes, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. The rules are the same everywhere in our cafes, which are consistent with Pennsylvania Liquor Code. We normally, in non-pandemic times, you have to have seating for 30. The PLCB has discouraged that, and currently we don't provide seating. But when the PLCB tells us we have to have the seating available, we will do so. Generally, people don't sit in our cafes. The purchases are limited to 192 ounces, which is basically a 15 pack. Wine purchases, we will, if approved, we will get a wine expand permit to allow us to sell wine. We can sell up to 3,000 milliliters of wine. That's 2 big bottles of 4 of the regular bottles. We have been very successful in training all of our employees in terms of RAMP training, responsible alcohol management program issued by the state. We card everyone. Everyone has to have a valid ID, whether you're 21 or 91. And no ID, no valid ID, no sale. Those are scanned. We don't save the data. It's just a redundancy to ensure that somebody's 21 that's purchasing it. I think you're familiar with our company. I don't need to do the biographic. Our headquarters is right outside your township in Maiden Creek. And we're proud to be community partners with you and look to continue to invest in Muhlenberg Township.
Thank you. I believe it'll be the first time you can buy a 6-pack since the Apple Inn on that side of town. Yeah, I think everyone's going to ask me about what's going in there, so I think the community's looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Any further questions?
I would just like to make a comment on behalf of the Muhlenberg Library. I'd like to thank Redner's for the contribution he made through the Save the Tape Redner's Free Seed program. We've been involved in that program for years, and it's a little shot in the arm for us financially. Thank you.
Thank you.
Seating, you said there is no seating. Are you planning to have seating down the road when the LCD comes?
We will follow the law. And if the law, as I said, before the pandemic, you had to have seating for 30. That's not negotiable. That's the minimum, and we provide the minimum. So once the PLCB says that gives us that stamp that we're now normal, we have to have that seating out there.
Then you could go to 30 seats. 30 how many?
30. And the plan that will be submitted if approved by your board, if the plan that was be submitted to the PLCB has to show seating for 30 on it.
Is that Redner's plan?
That would be the plan. That
If
would
they
be,
allow you to do it, you're gonna do it.
yes, sir.
Okay, got it.
You don't just allow, you actually require.
Yeah, we have to have seating for 30.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Does anyone from the public have any questions for Mr. Hobb?
Will there be any outside seating?
Currently, I don't anticipate that. There's a planned bump out to include a beer cave, which if you go to our Breezy Corner store, you'll see what that looks like. It's you walk into it and you beer to purchase to at the checkout. But at this point, there will be some seating. I think we're intending to have some picnic area type seating, but it's not intended to be part of the beer and wine cafe.
Anyone else have any questions or comments on this application? Thank you, Mr. Hobb. If there's no further comments or questions, the board can consider adoption of the resolution which would authorize this transfer and has been advertised for enactment today.
Okay, so I need a motion to adopt resolution 2021-06 authorizing the transfer of liquor license R-21406 for Redner's Market.
Moved.
Second.
Any further questions or comments on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those of any? The ayes have it, so ordered.
Thank you, and Brian, I'll need a
Thank you.
signed copy of that to get to members, file with PLC.
Public portion, would anyone like to speak under the first public portion? Here, anybody signing in?
You know what, I think they were all associated with, is Charlie Jones the last one on there, Jeremy?
Yes.
Yeah, they're all associated with the crew that left.
Anybody like to speak under the first public portion? Seeing none, I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Move.
Second. Questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those of any? The ayes have it, so ordered. Any unfinished business? Okay, we'll move on to new business. Motion to approve the payment of bills presented by the Director of Finance and Customer Service.
Move.
Second. Questions or comments? It's nice to see you back, David. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those of any? The ayes have it, so ordered. I'm gonna wrap all these up into one motion, if that's okay, since it's all related to the Public Works facility. A motion to approve payment application number 13, Fall Construction, in the amount of $72,647.35. Payment application number 3, Live Construction, in the amount of $15,300. Payment application number 9, Division Mechanical, in the amount of $5,354.20. And payment application number 5, Valvera Electric, in the amount of $91,570.49.
Move. Second.
Any questions or comments? My only comment will be at this time while we're spending it, we have set a date for our Public Works open house and ribbon cutting ceremony. We will put out on the web. That date is
June 19.
June 19th.
June 19, 9 a.m. to noon.
June 19th, 9 a.m. to noon. So everyone in the public is welcome to come and see our beautiful new Public Works facility. So, any further questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those of any? The ayes have it, so ordered. Motion to authorize the chief of police to extend conditional offers of employment to 2 individuals in accordance with the civil service rules and procedures.
Move.
Second. Any questions or comments? Chief, you just want to say a couple words about it?
Yeah, these are replacements for officers that have retired from the department, so it'll bring us back to our authorized budgeted strength of 31 officers. And both those officers they're new, they have to go through the police academy, they have no police service. So we won't really see them for another 6 months after we get them hired in July.
Thank you, Chief. Any further questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those of any? The ayes have it, so ordered. The motion to adopt ordinance 600 authorizing participation in an intergovernmental agreement for the purposes for updating the comprehensive plan.
Move.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
No, I'd just like to comment. We talked about the importance of entering into this agreement so that we can move forward with the writing of the new comprehensive plan. And I think it just makes a lot of sense to partner with the county planning commission and the borough of Laureldale and the Muhlenberg school district. So, yeah, it's just nice to see this movement forward.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any further questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those of any? The ayes have it, so ordered. A motion to release the Reading Pediatrics letter of credit now that the maintenance period has expired.
Move.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those of any? The ayes have it, so ordered. One other item to note, that I need a motion. Based on feedback from the public, we're going to move our commissioners meeting the same time, 6 p.m. for the June and July meetings to Jim Dietrich Park Pavilion 2. So we got some feedback that we're asked to do that, so we are going to do that. So if you're they'll come to the meeting, there'll be a door, sign on the door posted, so. We believe more residents still feel comfortable outside, so we're gonna try to accommodate that at least over the summer months.
Bring your own bug spray.
Any other new business, I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd like to propose a motion. On the 5th of May, we lost a pretty dedicated employee. For those that knew Jerry Roethlisberger, he was a bull. He really, he has a great young, small family that he dedicated his life to. I'd like to propose that we dedicate the new public works building, maybe call a portion of it, the Jared Roethlisberger Public Works Building. I think that's a great little memorial for a person that was a Muhlenberger through and through. He was born and raised here, and I think it's it'd be a nice little thing. So I'll make that motion.
I think it's nice to recognize the gentleman. Yeah, you said maybe a portion of it, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I don't even know what all's new yet and what, what we're gonna have, but, I don't know if you have something specific or the entire site.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be a big banner across the front of the building. I mean, it could be a portion of it, it could be, this is a memorial of a small plaque or something, but, be something cool for his young family to see for the rest.
Yeah, I don't disagree, Commissioner, but and as tragic and horrible as I lost it to Jared, I don't believe naming the entire facility. I believe recognizing, sure, it's 10 years to it. I'd be happy to work with all the board to do what we think is appropriate.
Perhaps you just put a memorial plaque on it, since this public works facility was dedicated on June 19, 2021 in memory of,
Yeah.
rather than reading.
Yeah, instead of naming the building.
How's that?
Yeah.
That would be good recognition.
I think something is better than nothing.
Sure.
I just think, it's a very tragic situation, and for the people that were in the dirt with them, it's a good thing.
Thank you, Michael, for that recommendation. That's a good idea. So thank you, Commissioner. Well,
Well, you could amend your motion if you wanted to have a plaque in recognition and see if you can get a second for that.
Yeah, I'll make that amendment, to black.
awesome. Any questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Noes, if any. The ayes have it, so ordered. Board appointments. Negative. Anyone wish to speak under the second public portion? Someone else?
You can take your mask down.
I just wanted to give everyone an update on the library. We are currently open on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 7, letting people inside the building, and on Saturdays from 9 to 4, letting people inside. We're still open on Mondays and Wednesdays doing library to go services, and we're busy planning summer reading, which begins on June 14th and will run through July 31st. So we have lots of online programming as well as things people can pick up at the library and take home to do, keeping things still safe over the summer. I'm hoping that by June, if everything still continues as it is, and numbers keep going down, by June 1st, we can hope to have Monday through Thursday, 10 to 7, letting people in fully. And we'll still offer curbside for those who wish to pick up in the lobby, but we will hopefully be able to open completely for all of our hours to the public then. All right?
Thank you.
Any questions for me?
You're gonna be open tomorrow?
No, we have the election in the building, so we have to be closed,
That's why I asked
unfortunately.
the question.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we can't be open.
Thank you,
All
Melissa.
right, thanks.
All right, we'll move on to additional comments. It's our staff back in the building. Joseph, do you want to start or your seat? Don't go for your class.
Don't forget to vote tomorrow. Voter resources are on our website under residents, voter resources, so you can find your polling location and other pertinent information, contact information for the county officials. So that's that.
Jeremy. Nothing else. Chief, anything else to add?
I would say the kids are out of school, so make sure everybody drives carefully, but this has been a different year where they've mostly been out of school.
Two events coming up. Kayaking 101 is this weekend. You can register for that online. You don't need a kayak, so go check it out. Two of our own will be instructing there. And Spring Fiesta will be June 12th. We're working with preparations for that. And it'll be good. It'll be out of Jim Dietrich Park. And lots of food and drinks. So stop out and check us out.
Thank you. Mr. Harris.
Planning Commission meeting Wednesday, there's no subdivision or land development applications. The planning commission members are actually doing a dry run with 2 residents regarding their informational tent that they're setting up. So planning commission plans to have an active presence for Spring Fiesta, just to convey what they're doing with Upland.
All right, Commissioner Lurch, you're up first.
It is nice to see a staff back. Yeah, no comments. But I know they've been here and working, so I've seen chiefs, so it was nice to see everybody back. Yes, tomorrow's election day, thank you for the reminder, everybody gets out to vote. And everybody can vote on, there are 4 questions. So you do not have to be registered Democrat or Republican, everybody can go vote on the questions. So please get out and exercise your right to vote. Otherwise, it was a beautiful day, nice weather. Thanks for turning out.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yeah, last year, when I became the school liaison, I stirred some things up in this township, first couple, 3 months of this year, last year. And you probably, if you didn't read it in the paper, for whatever reason, the school board raised this, our taxes, a mill. And the school taxes are already way past what they should be. And it's not just the school. The school seems to think that they're on their own island. But what they do affects this entire township. But they do not want to be part of it, just a small part. That's what all the dust was about last year. So they're going to raise the taxes, and they're getting $5.5 million from the federal government. And they were in school all year. And then they want to give the teachers from $30 an hour to $70 an hour raise for summer school. And I support the teachers. We all need to. But folks, we're getting shafted. And tomorrow's an opportunity to turn it around. We need to replace the school board, period. So I'm not going to mention names, but if you know the incumbents' names, you can do what you want. If they make the same old stupid ass, pardon me, decisions that they always do. So time to flip the guys over. But it's just a runaway train. The 3 people that are running tomorrow that I know of are parents of children. They should be people on the school board. Not retired people that's been there forever. One of them doesn't even have a kid. And then I'm up for election tomorrow too, so push my button. Thank you. Oh, and Kevin and I are up for tomorrow.
Commissioner Wolf.
I don't have much to say other than we have a beautiful park in Jim Dietrich that butts the Schuylkill River. Saturday morning, 10 o'clock. Come on out. You don't have to kayak. Just come out and watch some people flounder in the Schuylkill River. We have like 6 people that are new to kayaking. We're going to be there. And you can take a look and see what we do. And it might be something that you're interested in getting involved in. We have this beautiful thing next that runs between Burn Township and Muhlenberg, and it runs all the way down to Philadelphia. So it's a lot of fun. Come out and take a look at what it's like.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Things are beautiful and gorgeous out, so get outside and I just want to make a remark. We have some dedicated employees here in the township, and it goes without saying that we didn't miss much. We didn't skip too much of a beat through this whole ordeal. As a matter of fact, I kind of think that having the summer meetings down at the park is kind of a good thing. Go and interact with people, say hi to our police officers, say hi to our information director. Take note and be cheerful and be happy and enjoy the good weather and start relationships with local employees, because they do have an invested they do have an investment in this township. So that's all I'm gonna say. Thank you.
Thank you for everyone coming up tonight to Commissioner Wolfinger's comments. We are starting to open up, and our parks will be getting a lot of activity. So, Chief, as you can imagine, if we can do as much as we can to have our officers down interacting with folks, and I know hopefully we get the bike patrol back working and the motorcycles out, all that good stuff. And there are parks, so we've had some issues with some trash and things, and look, we don't want to be closing places down and not allowing the kids to play basketball or doing things, but we have to, be conscious of turning our parks into something that we don't want to turn them into. So hopefully that everyone will abide by that, to keep them nice and clean. So that would be my only comment, because we are seeing a tremendous amount of activity, especially at Jim Dietrich Park, for people going there. So I just ask our codes and our police to pay particular attention to that, and not to be overly punitive about it. Just say, hey, it's pick up after yourself. So that's all I got. Go out and vote, and everyone enjoy the rest of Memorial Day. Memorial Day. Okay, forgot Memorial Day.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Memorial Day ceremony at Jim Dietrich Park. 8 o'clock start. It's on our website. 9 o'clock. I'm sorry.
9
Yeah,
o'clock.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.